Metal Up World, this is CJ with cjortiz.com and metalmotivation.com. This is the first episode of a new 5-message series I'm doing entitled How to Stop Your Negative Thinking. This is from my Life Domination online coaching program, which you can learn more about at the link below. All this week, again, how to stop your negative thinking. I'd have to say that if there's any one thing that you or I should focus on when it comes to personal development, self-improvement, self-help, whatever you want to call it, the most important thing that you and I could focus on is the mind, the way that we think, our thought life, how we process things, how we interpret what happens to us. For a lot of us, we've come out of a painful past. For a lot of us, we did not have the best of upbringings. It might have been poverty that we came out of. It might have been abusive situations that we came out of. It might have been the fact that we had people speak negative to us, that we were awkward, that we didn't get along well with others, or we were misunderstood by others. We had to sit by ourselves in the lunchroom, whatever it may be. Granted, all of these things go in to shape the way that we think. But here's the problem. If you, for the most part, play the blame game, in other words, that whenever you don't see yourself improving, whenever you don't achieve a goal, whenever you fail in something, if you keep pointing to your past, if you keep pointing to what's happened to you, if you keep pointing or directing attention to what was said to you, as the reason why you may have failed, as the reason why you still are the way you are in life, you're never going to get out of where you are in life. Something has to change. Yes, the past has shaped our thinking. Yes, it has made us negative, but we don't have to stay that way. Why would anybody want to stay that way? Lots of people do. Lots of people who don't necessarily like their circumstances, who don't like being depressed, who don't like suffering from anxiety or stress or anything like that. They choose to stay where they are because it's the only thing that justifies for them. In other words, where they are in life. It's the only way that if they fail at anything, they can always point to their past. They can always point the blame on something outside of them, something in their environment, something that happened to them, instead of something that they're doing for themselves. And so, yeah, that's why people are willing to stay in a negative mindset. They're willing to stay in this limited position that they are in life, not really moving forward, not really growing, not really developing, never really getting the goals that they say they want. Not reaching the plateaus that they believe that they can actually get to. Why would they do that? They do that because it's easier to place blame elsewhere than placing that blame on ourselves. But here's something that I've always believed, and it is simply this, that if I know the problem is me, then that is good news. If I know that my biggest problem is me, that's good news. If I'm my biggest obstacle, man, that's good news. If I'm the main hurdle that I have to overcome, that's good news. If I'm the biggest mountain I'll ever have to climb, that is good news. Well, why in the hell, CJ, would you say that that is good news? Why would it be that if I'm the biggest problem in my life, why is that good news? One simple reason, because we can change you. I can change me. If my problem, okay, listen to me now. If the fact that I've failed, if the fact that I never get what it is I want out of life, if the fact that I just remain in the miserable state that I am, if all of that is because of something outside of me, what was done to me, what was said to me, my race, my gender, the country I live in, whatever, if everything is completely determined by something outside of you in your environment, then there's not much you can do. Because you can't change the color of your skin. You can't change a hell of a lot of things about, where you are if you live in another country. You can't change that immediately. You can't change if somebody is just determined to treat you poorly. You can't change a company that you work for. You can't change the political climate in which you live. You can't change, the economic system that you're in. You can't change the times in which you live. You can't go back to another time or go future to another time. You can't change any of those things around you. So if your problem is something external to you, you're screwed. But if the problem is you, no matter how difficult the problem you are to yourself, that is good news, because we can always change you. We can't necessarily change your circumstances or your environment. And I like to say this often too, that for those of us who complain the loudest about our circumstances, we are often the first circumstance that needs to change. And again, the primary thing, like I said, that you need to focus on when it comes to self-improvement, if you got rid of everything else and just focused on one thing, it would be changing the way that you think. It would be putting an end to negative thinking, to stop being an enemy to yourself and start being your own best friend. Be the one who shows you the biggest support. Be the one who pushes you the most. Be the one who drives you the most. Be driven by something internal, not external, not looking for the good news of outside, but the good news that you keep telling yourself within, in your own mind, in your own thinking. If you can change the way you think, man, I guarantee you, you will change so much about your life. If you can just change the way that you think, so many areas of your life are going to be radically transformed. I promise you, man, you will go from caterpillar to butterfly. You will shake off the old deadness and you'll put on a new life, man. You'll be flying instead of walking. You'll be really living instead of just getting by. You won't be in this halfway, this in between life and death. You know what that is? You know what it's like? What are you when you live halfway between life and death? You're a zombie, man. Nobody wants to live like that. You want to get out of the zombie-like existence, to come up from the grave and really start to live the vibrant life that you know that you can live, that you see other people live, that you're almost envious. You want that yourself, but you can't get out of the prison of your own mind. You can't break the shackles of your own mind. The habits of thinking that you have, you find it so difficult to change. You're always saying, it's easier said than done. You can do it. You can change your thinking. You can transform, put off the negative thinking and start putting on a new mindset, a new way of life, a new frame of reference, new sunglasses that you're going to look through. And it's going to change the color of everything that you see when you learn to stop your negative thinking. Well, that's what I'm talking about all this week in the Life Domination online coaching program. Again, if you'd like to join, I really encourage you to do so. It's 5 videos a week, every week, shown in a private Facebook group, which I will administrate. So you and I finally get to work together outside of this main public setting. It's a private Facebook group. Guess who else is in there? Other awesome people just like you. No haters, right? No negative people, no critics, nothing like that. Only other people that will encourage you, build you up, speak into your life, and you can speak into theirs. Again, I will be there to moderate and administrate it all. It's less than 70 cents a day. And I know that's a very, very small investment to radically improve your life. So you can see the rest of this series this week, as well as all the archives of over 200 videos that we've already done in this group. So if you'd like to learn more about it, please visit the link below, metalmotivation.com/life domination coaching. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.